Alright, in this lesson we're going to be looking at solving systems with elimination. Our objective, to understand how to solve a system with elimination. Vocabulary would be elimination, causing a variable to have a coefficient of 0 to get rid of the variable. When a variable has a number in front of it that's 0, we don't need that variable anymore. It makes the problem a little simpler. Our first example is a pretty simple situation. First thing that we need to do is we need to look, are the x's lined up? Are the y's lined up? Are the equal signs lined up? Are the numbers without variables lined up? All these things have to be lined up. The order doesn't matter that they're in. They just have to line up with each other. If they don't line up, use substitution. Alright, so these are all lined up. The next thing that we want to look at is we want to be able to get one of the variables to have the exact same number in front of it. So here we have 7 and 5 in front of the x's. They're not the same. We could turn both of those into 35. Here we have 3 and 3 in front of y. Those are the same, so we don't actually need to do any work to this. This is already ready. Next thing we look at is what are the symbols in front of our numbers. So we have a positive and a negative. If they're the same symbol, we can just add. So we're going to add in this situation. What I like to do is put some lines down just to kind of show me the sections that I'm going to be creating. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take each section and I'm going to add with it. 7x plus 5x is 12x. Positive 3y plus negative 3y is 0y. And negative 13 plus 1 is negative 12. We don't need the 0y, so I'm going to rewrite this without that 0 part. So this is 12x equals negative 12. Now I can solve for x. Okay, so we have our x value. We now need our y. What we have to do is substitute this into one of the original equations. It really doesn't matter which one we pick. So I'm going to go with the top one. Now this part of elimination is a little bit more difficult than the second part of substitution. It takes a little bit more effort. 7 times negative 1 is negative 7, plus 3y equals negative 13. We're going to then add 7 on both sides. 3y equals negative 6. Then we're going to divide by 3. Y is negative 2. So it looks like our answer is negative 1, comma, negative 2. Remember, key thing for elimination, things have to be lined up. Let's try another. Okay, so in example 2, everything's lined up. So what we need to do is figure out what we want to turn everything into. So we've got 3 and 4 can turn into 12. 2 and 5 can turn into 10. So since 2 and 5 make a smaller number, let's go with that. So to turn 2 into 10, we have to multiply by 5. Well, if we multiply one thing by 5, we've got to multiply all of it. So we're going to get 15x minus 10y equals 115. Oops. One too many ones. 115 there. Okay? To turn the second one into a 10y, we have to multiply everything by 2. So we're going to get 8x minus 10y equals 80. Okay, so here's our new system. What we would do now is notice how both our 10s are negative. So in this case, we can't add, we actually have to subtract. So I'm going to make my lines to kind of help me guide this. I'm going to go 15 minus 8, which is 7x. I'm going to go negative 10 minus negative 10. Well, minusing a negative is adding, so this is 0y. And we've got 115 minus 80, which is 35. So I'm going to rewrite our equation. 7x equals 35. Divide by 7. X is 5. So we got our x of 5. We need to now find y. So we're just going to substitute that into one of our original equations. I'm going to go with the top one. I'm going to use the black equation, not these that I made, because these have smaller numbers. So 3 times 5 is 15, minus 2y equals 23. I'm minus 15 from both sides to move it. That's going to give us negative 2y equals 8. I'm going to divide by negative 2, and y is negative 4. So this answer is 5, negative 4. Okay, one more example. Our last example looks like this. Remember, anytime there is a letter without a number in front, that number is really a 1. So that can help us. So we want to turn 2 and 6 into 6, or we want to turn 1 and 5 into 5. I'm going to go with the front numbers. So we're going to turn 2 and 6 into 6. So we're going to multiply by 3 here. And on the bottom, we're going to multiply by 1. That's going to keep everything at 6. So we're going to get 6x minus 3y equals 0. And we're going to get negative 6x plus 5y equals 8. So we're going to look at our 6's. Positive and negative means we're going to add. Okay, so from here, 6 plus negative 6 is 0x. Negative 3 plus positive 5 is 2y. And 0 plus 8 is 8. So we've got 2y equals 8, because we don't need that. Divide by 2. And y is 4. From here, we're just going to put 4 into the equation and find our x value. So if we go back to this original problem, we had just a y here, so I'm going to put 4 in for y. It's a pretty simple situation. 2x minus 4 equals 0. We're going to add 4. 2x equals 4. Divide by 2. X is 2. And so it looks like our answer is 2, 4. Okay, this has been using elimination to solve systems. If there are anything that you didn't understand or you need to watch again, please pause, rewind, and rewatch, and bring any questions that you may have to class. Thank you.